morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to John.
Good morning, Janice. It's great to hear that classical American rock and roll first thing in the morning. Thanks to my family for sending it up there. And we're looking forward to a wonderful day in space, highlighted by the deployment of the S6 solar array wings, which really is going to bring the station to full power. And it's going to be a full-up effort from the ground and the crew on orbit, and we're really looking forward to working with you.
We're looking forward to today as well.
This morning's wake-up music for the crew of Discovery was Box of Rain by the Grateful Dead, played for mission specialist John Phillips. Activity for the crews on orbit in their morning is going to focus almost exclusively on the deployment of the two new solar array wings on the International Space Station. Those wings are part of the S6 truss, which was installed yesterday during the first spacewalk of the flight. Currently, both the 1B and 3B power channels are in the proper configuration for the deployment. Each of the masts that will support those two solar array wings has been deployed to one mast bay, essentially just a couple of folds of the accordion-shaped solar array panels that are exposed. That operation was completed overnight by the space station flight control teams. The blanket box is open. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see the end of the mast canister. The deployment procedure that will be employed today has been refined based on the experience of previous deploys on the other three sets of solar array wings, and in fact a second deployment of the P6 arrays, which was accomplished just a couple of years ago.
And Alpha Houston, on the big loop, you are go to send the deploy command.
We copy. We have the go to send the deploy command. Standby 1 on my call. Houston, John reports he's ready to send a deploy command. So on my mark, we'll deploy. Ready, ready, mark. Houston, we see good motion.
Houston copies.
This is Mission Control Houston. As you can see, the deployment now underway. This is of the 1B solar array. The ISS Flight Control Team confirming everything looking good thus far. They'll be proceeding with this deployment to just under the halfway mark, where they will then pause for about 45 minutes to let the array wings warm in the sun, and that will help minimize any stiction of the surfaces.
Houston Alpha, we estimate 5 bays deployed at this time.
Copy, 5 bays.
Houston, Swiner reports a little more than 14 bays deployed, and we'll plan on stopping at 15.5.
Copy, 14 bays deployed, and that you'll stop at 15.5. Thanks.
There's 15 bays. On my mark, we will send the abort command. Ready, ready, mark. Command has been sent.
And Houston copies all.
Looks like we estimate roughly 15.5 bays with a good deploy at this point.
As you've heard, they've now completed that first phase of the deployment. The 1B solar array wing now deployed just under the 50% mark at about 15.5 bays. This is a planned pause where they will let the solar array wing warm in the sunlight for about 45 minutes in order to warm the polymers and minimize any stiction that would cause problems for the unfolding of these array wings. The step now is a visual verification of the array wings being done by the crew, where they're taking a look at the blanket alignment and conditions, as well as the tension mechanisms, and ensuring that everything is looking good before they proceed with the rest of the deployment. Again, expected to be about 45 minutes from now.
And Alpha Houston on the big loop, we are ready for the deploy command when you are.
Houston and Discovery, on my call, we'll send a deploy command. Ready, ready, mark.
This is Mission Control Houston. As you heard, the next phase of the deployment now underway on the commencement of the full extension of the 1B solar array. The Station Flight Control team reporting they have good motion and everything else looking good. The crew on board monitoring as they proceed with the remainder of this extension activity.
Houston Discovery, it looks like we had a very good deploy. We got a couple of yeses on the deployed status, and the tension reel came up exactly as predicted at 31 bays. And we see no anomalies, but we're going to make our checks for the next step of the procedure.
Crew, very good news. We copy all, and thanks for this update. And you are good to recover attitude.
The Station Flight Director reporting they have a good 1B solar array deploy that concluded at 10:52 a.m. Central Time. The crew now proceeding to a visual inspection.
Discovery copy.
And Alpha Houston, you are go for the deploy command.
Copy, go for the deploy. John's going to send the arm at this point. Stand by my call on the deploy. Houston and Discovery, on my mark, we'll send the deploy command. Ready, ready, mark.
This is Mission Control Houston. They're now commencing with the deploy of the 3B solar array.
Houston and Discovery, Solani reports approximately 10 bays deployed.
Houston copies 10 bays deployed.
Houston, there's 15 and a half bays deployed. We show good power down on the MDA, and the array looks good at this time.
And Alpha Houston, we copy all. Great news. We'll let you know when we're back in attitude control. We will be handling that here from the ISS side, of course.
Copy that, and we'll perform our visual verification for 15.9.
Sounds great, Bruce. Thanks.
This is a view inside the International Space Station. As you can see, a number of the crew members assembled as we're just a few minutes out from proceeding with the final phase of the solar array wing deploy.
Houston, from Alpha, John has armed the deploy. Stand by my count on the deploy. Ready, ready, mark. The command has been sent. We see motion.
Houston copies all.
And Houston, John noted that the suspect area has already flattened out nicely.
Houston copies all. Great news.
Houston, Solani reports 20 bays deployed and counting.
Houston copies 20 bays.
Bays and counting.
Houston copies 27 bays.
Bays and counting.
Houston copies 30 bays.
31 bays.
31 bays.
Houston, Alpha, to deploy indications, MDA powered off. Initial look looks good for a full deployment, and we're going to do the complete scan here for the next step of the procedure.
And Alpha Houston, tremendous news, great work, guys. We got a whole bunch of happy people down here as well. So great work.
As you've heard now, and in the view, the solar array wing now fully deployed. That marks the completion of the deployment activity mechanically. That marked at 12:17 p.m. Central Time as the onboard crew confirming they had full deployment of the 3B solar array. That's the second of 2 solar array wings that have been deployed this morning. All of that activity gone very smoothly, no issues. The crew moving on to the next step, which is a final visual inspection of the array wing, ensuring there's no areas of interest or damage. Likewise, the ground control team confirming all the ground indications are of good tension and performance by the array wings.
Alpha and Discovery from Houston, ISS is in attitude control. How copy?
Copies ISS in attitude control.
And Discovery copies.